We were coup d'etat, man. Coup d'etat? We ain't coup d'etat? No, we are coup d'etat.
International.
They don't know. They don't know. They don't know.
I'm a deadbeat cousin, I hate family reunions.
Anyway, all I'm saying is, I'm attracted to a lot of different things. I mean, nobody
I didn't
is up
say
in arms.
you were.
Hold on. Aaron, no one is up in arms about, my infatuation with technology, with business, with film.
Hold on. Whoa. Did I not start off the podcast about how annoying as fuck you are? That transcends just the street culture. That's everything.
So this is my thing.
You'll send me emails about scripts, and I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Like, I ain't got
when did I
time
send you a script?
You scripts, manuscripts, story ideas, all kinds of stuff via Gmail. I get
that was a long time ago. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That's not a
that was like 2 years ago. That was like 2 years ago. I have not sent a script in 2 years. Because I haven't written new scripts in a while.
Hold on. No, let me. No. I'm about to pull open Gmail right now.
Please do.
You sent me, like, I get all kinds of stuff, and it's like, you're now shared this document. Here's this. Here's that.
So here's what you're talking about. It's not a script. Hold on, let's be accurate. You're getting very loose with words. You were not sent a script. You haven't been sent a script in over 2 years. Because I haven't written a script in over 2 years. You were sent a business document outlining a project, which you really didn't have to read, didn't expect you to read, but I was sharing it in case you were interested, just so you could understand maybe, this alleged infatuation. But, clearly you didn't look over it since you think it's a script. And I don't think you're ever going to understand the fact that I have zero to little interest in street culture, bourgeois culture, fucking French culture, any of those things as a whole. I'm interested, just like you, in the stuff I liked when I grew up. And that ranges from nerdy humor type shit to Allen Iverson. And I don't really understand, again, it being depicted that I have, a certain interest in street culture when, my actions would reflect that. You know what I'm saying? I think you would have heard about me getting in trouble. Like, I know how to carry myself. I understand who I am and where I came from. So there's really no issues with that ever. Ever.
I think you're taking it as if,
I'm taking it. I'll tell you exactly how I'm taking it. So you don't have to speculate. I'm taking it as you're trying to portray me as somebody who fetishizes street culture. You feel that the things I'm doing with Kurt, my appreciation for Iverson and Jay-Z, but no one else really. I don't think you could name anyone else that I'm actually that passionate about. That those reflect a certain level of fetishism or whatever. With street culture, when there's nothing to be glorified, and I've never have glorified. If you were to read the work I've done with Kurt, I think that would make things a little more clear. And if you were to consider the actual reasons I like Allen Iverson, because again, I don't think you've even accepted that, is the fact that this is the hometown star where I grew up, and any choice to love him beyond that was this is the guy. Everyone, when I was growing up, everyone loved Allen Iverson at that same level, and everyone had braids. I know you were a little older and were probably able to see through that trend a little easier, because I now understand. I'm able to look at stuff now and see through it. I wouldn't be dressing. I don't dress like Young Thug, but if I had a younger cousin who was in the culture right now and was wearing tight shit, I would kind of write it off as, okay, this is a generational thing. But overall, I just wanted to make it clear that, I'm a little offended that you feel that way, and that you don't really recognize the brilliance of, again, I'm going to say all three of those names. No, now it's 4 names: Allen Iverson, Larry David, Jay-Z, Curtis Snow. I'll throw John Favreau in there just to balance it out, get another white face in there, and a non-Jewish white face, just so we know there's no bias. I mean, like, there's just, to me, there's no thread, there's no proof of this. And
you're turning it into this indictment of you as a person, and it's not an indictment. Like, you are being like those liberal people who are like, if Bernie Sanders doesn't win, then like there's something wrong with America. And then someone says, "Oh, there's something wrong with you," and it's like, no, Bernie has to win because he's the best. Like,
I haven't said anything like that. I've just defended my point.
You're turning it into an argument about like what you do and don't like, and like even how you just did that. You're like, I'll throw in another
because that's what I feel like needs to be done for you to understand the point. Because I can get to 10. I could name 10 people, and you might only be able to connect 3 or 4 of them. Hold on. You might only be able to connect 3 or 4 of them as streets. So to me, it's like, what? I don't understand. Am I supposed to emulate Kobe?
No.
Because Kobe tried to be a rapper. Kobe tried to rap.
It's literally like you know what it's like? It's like if in high school when someone's like, "Man, you're gay," and then somebody got real upset and was like, "No, I'm not gay. Let me show you how not gay I am." Like, that's what you're doing right now. And I'm not trying to get into a deep philosophical argument. It was a question because, like I said, you speak about Curtis Snow like he is Malcolm X. And I'm trying to understand more, and I'm trying to understand based from the
Let me explain that.
of the things that I know, like, and it's not like you could probably say or talk about some of the things that I like, but there's only so much you can know about somebody in a limited amount of time. So like I know I know larger pictures, larger chunks, but I don't know like the intimate details. So it's not like you could say, yeah, outside of maybe like Ken Griffey Jr., like you probably couldn't even name my favorite baseball players, and that's fine. Like, and I'm not gonna, but I also wouldn't get defensive about it either. If you were like, "Well, I think you like Bryce Harper," I'd be like, "Okay, well, you think I like Bryce Harper?"
Well,
like,
if I was connecting your fanhood of Bryce Harper to some imagined like obsession you have with young white men, I don't know. I could understand, but what I'm more getting at is. Any of those. Oh, no. I don't even want to talk on the big picture. We won't address the specific example you gave of Malcolm and Kurt because it's very pertinent to me because actually while we were writing the first book, I mentioned to him a few times, like, bro. And first of all, let's clear, never a comparison to Malcolm X. I've told him himself, nah, bro, you still on some Malcolm Little shit, but you have the potential to do something like Malcolm X. Now, we're not going to compare Malcolm X and Curtis Snow because the work hasn't been done, you know, and I've never done that. I've never put him on that platform or pedestal or anything like that. But I believe I've told him, and I'll explain to anyone why I see parallels between him and Malcolm Little. I've had deep conversations with Curtis, and I've read Malcolm X's book. So I can see the parallels. It's not that difficult. So, I mean, have you read his book?
Malcolm X?
Yeah. Have you read Malcolm X?
Yeah.
Have you read Curtis's book?
No.
All right. Well, this is my issue. It's funny because you and Darian, you know, my brother and my best friend, the two of you have really been the most resistant to the work I've done with Kurt. He's actually encouraged me to do other things. And it's like, to me, it's kind of funny because y'all haven't even attempted to consume or understand the content. So for me, again, I'm going to go back to the Bill O'Reilly comparison. It sounds very O'Reilly-ish. It sounds like your own experiences and perspectives are being put onto mine, and it's keeping you from just getting something good. Like, if you were to read the book, it's, you know, I don't even read books, but it's a good little read. You know, it's not even something where, and if you were to read it, I think you might understand him as a person a little better to understand why I respect him and why I admire him or why I admire him as a storyteller. So again, I'm not trying to be defensive about it, but I do have to speak on this and speak up. In the same way, yeah, if we was in high school and you tried to call me gay, honestly, I probably wouldn't trip, you know, because I was speaking to girls. But ultimately, somebody, if you try to call somebody on something and they feel it's incorrect, they can address it. And that's all I'm really trying to do. I'm trying to actually get to the points you're making and address them. And I still feel like you haven't made a point that connects to, what we were talking about of me having a certain infatuation with street culture. Because I don't.
Because A, like, you've got on me, like, if there's a difference between, like, hey, yeah, I was just dating this, I went out with this girl the night before, and no, maybe you're gay, or no, you, like, that, because that's what you're doing by calling me Bill O'Reilly. Like,
I see a real parallel, because you even bringing up Isaiah and Iverson is retarded. Like, people do that all the time. Isaiah and Iverson themselves are done. Like, that's a very simple comparison to make. So you trying to separate Iverson from Isaiah simply because Iverson didn't win a championship, didn't have great players around him the way Isaiah did? It doesn't make sense to me.
It's got nothing to do with that, actually. It's more about, like, the physical comparison, the way they played the game, how they approached the game, and what all of that meant in the longer grand scheme of things. Like, Isaiah had turned it into being a basketball executive, owning a league. He ran into the ground.
Whoa. Hold on a second. Yeah. I'm glad you just said that. He ran the league into the ground, ran the Knicks into the ground, got fired for sexual harassment. Hold on.
He didn't actually run the Knicks into the ground. He did not. If you look at what he did, he got them a lot of cap space. Yeah, he signed Jerome James, but he didn't really run them into the ground. Like, he put them in a good position, and then they weren't able to capitalize on it, especially after firing him. He didn't necessarily run them into the ground. I get your point.
Okay, so you're defending Isaiah's legacy as being cool. All I'm getting at is you're romanticizing the fact that he became an executive. He wasn't a good executive, so how is that a win? How is him going to the next level, taking the platform he's on and fucking failing with it? That is somehow
he took the platform he was on and took it to the next level. And I guess I can't speak for Darian, and this is the honest to goodness truth. I cannot speak for Darian. I don't know why Darian doesn't want you to, or doesn't think you should be working with Curtis. My thing is, and this has been my thing, like when I said you should go back to school, and when I said you need to just get a degree and get the fuck out, and you need to do this and do that. My thing is, you need to make good long-term decisions. Like, yes, that might be an interesting project, but what is that going to do for you in the long run? And what I mean by that too is I've had opportunities in smaller little companies, and working on little startup comics and clothing companies and all this other stuff. And at the end of the day, after a certain point, I realized wow, this would be really fun if it actually hit. This isn't going to pay me. This isn't going to keep the lights on. This isn't going to enrich me enough that is worth the cost that I'm going to cost myself right now. I'm looking at it from strictly from the perspective of, yeah, he might be interesting, but this might be an interesting thing to do, down the line or once you've made it, not something that you need to invest a lot of time and effort in right now. Because at the end of the day, you have to set yourself up for your future. And here's this thing I said to my mom, because my mom always asked me about that. What's Calvin doing? How's Calvin doing? Is he going to do this? Is he going to do that? I understand the need and the desire and the position that people are in when they see something bigger or they see something different. So I recognize, I say I could be wrong. And that's why I'm saying I'm not calling you out, and I don't think you should have been as defensive, and I'm not saying Bill O'Reilly, because I understand it and I respect it. I'm trying to understand, and that's why it's very frustrating when you're saying, well, you're doing this and you're doing that. No, the fuck I'm not. Because if I were doing this and I were doing that, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We wouldn't be having this podcast. We wouldn't be talking about those things. It just would. That's not the way it works.
Well, I respect that and I hear that. When I call you Bill, I hope you don't take it too offensive. But that to me,
I mean, at the end of the day, it's funny because if I were Bill O'Reilly, I'd be rich, so I might be able to accept that at this point in life.
All right. Well, again, we're at different stages in life, so we value different things. You spoke about startups, and this would be fun if this hit. blah, blah, blah. None of those startups were founded by you, right? Or like your passion project, brainchild.
No, a couple of things were like, it was a mutual idea between a couple people. So it's like founded by me, like in the sense of like, oh, I'm throwing money into this or whatever. No, but in terms of like, this is an idea to like two people with similar interests that could combine and could get together. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I respect that. Well, I asked because for me, you know, the creative projects I do and have been doing for the past almost 6 years now, they all tie into a greater goal I have, which I'm not even going to speak on because, you know, I just try not to speak on things until I make them happen. But I'm making very measured decisions and have been for a long time. I've done stuff that a lot of people might criticize, but I know ultimately what those decisions are leading to, or at least what they're intended to lead to. You know, I have no control over what happens, but all I know is that I currently have a job with benefits, which makes my parents very happy, and is, from my understanding, at least my whole life, the whole reason they wanted me to go to college. The funny thing to me is that the reason I got this job is not because I have a degree, because I don't. It's because the people who hired me were very impressed that I had published a book. So, again, I can't expect people to understand my life or my experiences or the decisions I make, but I also expect the people close to me, the people I respect, to have enough understanding of who I am and what my purpose is, maybe not in their life, but in other people's lives, to respect those decisions beyond what I would do or what they would do.
And again, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't be on the podcast. I wouldn't be entertaining, like, what you're doing and what you're talking about. Like, yeah, I might not have been reading the emails that you sent about whatever and sharing Google Documents, but I did read that entire script and I did give you commentary on it and feedback. And
I appreciate that.
Like, I understand and respect. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't coming from a place of disrespect, and it's not saying that it's like the thing. Because here's my whole reason for one of my larger reasons for going into journalism. There is this false notion that the things that black people do are different than any other people when they're not. Like, yeah, everyone has their own unique sets of culture, but a lot of things that black people do aren't this magical thing that's like, oh, only black people do this. You go to the country, like just norms, just cultural norms. Like,
I agree. Like, I think the only people who have like a lack culture in a sense is white America, because it's kind of like a weird. It's a weird thing. It's not a natural culture. But African Americans have been forced to create their own culture, and it's become the dominant culture of America. But I agree with you. Greeks, Italians, all people from all over the world, they all have very distinct cultures.
They don't know. They don't know.
I swear to God, we were coup d'etat, man. I coup d'etat? We ain't coup d'etat? No, we are coup d'etat.
International.